time projects as well. So before getting into it, I'll just explain you about I just set the objective of our session. So for next 1 hour or so 1 hour or 1.5 hours, we're just going to discuss about what are the importance of structural analysis and what this structural analysis is all about, and what are the job applications is available, and what are the I've just picked two important softwares. The one is STAAD and ETABS, and what are his and what are the software features and benefits, and where we can able to implement that softwares, and some real-time projects as well. I have just picked some handpicked some exact examples, and I just want to share you that as well. Okay, so let me start my session. So okay, so I hope my screen is visible to everyone. Can anyone please confirm?
Yes, visible, Shakti.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so to start with, as I told, the structural design. So if we talk about, what is the structural design? So it is, the tool where you can able to find, the safe and economical, or the specification of a structure. So in other words, I can able to say to finding out, the cross-sectional dimension, or else, the grade of any material, or else, the amount of total reinforcement that is actually required for any type of structure. Okay, so or else you can say to withstand, the total internal force that what we have got from the final analysis. It may be from the software, or else maybe you might have learned from, the, what is it called? So for the manual calculation, maybe you might have 2 to 3 papers like structural analysis 1 and 2. So that's what your the structural design is all about. Okay, so it is generally the just the study of investigation, where you can able to investigate the strength or rigidity, and what you're going to be able to say, like stability of a structure. So the main objective in the structural analysis, and it's to design to produce a structure that is actually capable of resisting all the applied loads without any failure. Okay, so the three things, three important factors. So whatever the building you are designing, we need to consider the three ones. So the first is your safety, and second is your durability, and third one is your economic. So if we talk about the safety purpose and the durability purpose, so the structural analysis plays a major role. So as I told before, the structural analysis and design is set to produce the structure that is actually capable of resisting all the applied loads without failure during its intended life. So whatever the life the building is actually carrying, it may be 50 years or 60, 70 years. So that building is actually capable of resisting all the applied loads in it. So that's what your structural analysis is all about. Fine. So if we talk about need, so why you want to do a structural analysis? So what is structural analysis is all about, and what are the why we need to do that, you need to know. So that is actually called as your need of your structural design. Okay, so the main need to perform the structural design, these are called the essential requirement to satisfy is strength. So whatever the structure you are designing, so the structural design should satisfy its strength. So it may be in shear, or it may be in compression way, it may be in the tension. These and all will be developed under a given system of loads. So I can able to give the system of loads. Okay, so whatever the loads which I'm giving as an input, or else whatever the load that is actually the structure is actually capable of carrying. So this strength, maybe strength, it may be in the compression way, it may be in a tension. So it will develop under the whatever the system of loads and their combination, whatever you are giving. So that compression and tension will appear. So this structure is actually capable of satisfy the total strength of the building. So first one is actually to satisfy the strength. So the second one is the stress developed in the structure. Okay, so in similar way, if a certain loads is actually acting on a particular structure, you can able to get the stress is also able to develop in the structure. So the stress developed in the structure under in the given system of loads. Okay, it should be within the safe limits, maybe like a safe permissible limits. So we do have the set of permissible limits. Okay, so each and every structure or a building that to be equally carry that particular stress. So the stress developed in the structure also, it should be within the safe permissible limits. So that you need to check. So for that, it is actually the main need of to do a structural analysis. The third is your adequate stability. So what is its stability? So the structure should have the adequate stability against it may be the overturning, or else the sliding, or else the buckling. So these three are the failure mode of whatever the structure you're talking about. Sometimes in the footing we can able to get the overturning. You might have heard about these three words: overturning, sliding, and buckling. So you can able to get whenever you have studied the what is it called, design of foundation part. So in the types of foundation, you can able to get these three, or else you can able to design any um, retaining walls or something. You need to catch this, the overturning, sliding, and buckling. So these three are the three basic needs why you need to have this structural design. Okay, so these are the basic needs. Fine. So if we talk about the types of structural design in terms of the materials what we are using, generally we do have the two set of structures. So from the image you can able to maybe you can able to guess what is it. So the first is your RCC structure. The one is a reinforced concrete structural design. Okay, so the second is your steel structure design. So these two are basic with starting with the member or whatever the member you are using, or else the material, whatever the material you are using, you can able to get these two set of structures. Even we do have many things like a timber structure, so where you can able to use the timber kind of thing, even like wood and everything. I can able to get the timber structure and everything. So these are all with respect to the materials what we are using it. Fine. So in general, if you talk about in the structural term, we do have some four set of types of structural design. So what is it? So the first is your 1D. So that is your one dimensional. Okay, in structural term, the first type of structural design is actually called as your one-dimensional structural design. So what is it, one-dimensional structural design? So this one-dimensional structural design will take care of, like cables, or, the columns, what you are designing, beams, as well as, the ropes. And sometimes we can able to calculate, as if you're talking about, the tension member and everything, we can able to calculate, the rope and